You got me on a good one tonight, baby. I just I'm snapping. I was just in my car dancing to some music. I just got off of my live stream about a half an hour ago, and I was singing at the end of it, and I said I was going to end every live stream with Landslide by Stevie Nicks. We'll see. I don't know, that may not happen. But I was like, so I just, it was interesting because I went to my meeting earlier tonight and we were talking about living life on life's terms, and I said in there something I very truly believe. This vlog probably won't be super long tonight, so y'all can catch up. But and I just kind of want to give a message and just let this video just maybe, I don't know, I'm just inspired today, and I just want to maybe let this be a shorter video that if people want to come back to and they can say, all right, yeah, like I get it, like let me be inspired for a day. And then, and not that I feel like that's who I am, that I can do that, but maybe this can serve as that a little bit. I don't know, because I feel inspired today. So, I was sitting in this meeting, I was listening to everybody talk about like hard times they've been through since they've been sober and stuff like that. And, and I've been through a lot of hard times sober, and the reality is that like, just because you get sober, life doesn't get easier, but I wouldn't trade it in, not for 1 second. And I feel like the hard things I've gone through with like putting a dog to sleep and my mom passing away and whatever, it was an honor to be present for those moments in my life. And I said that for me, it's the bitter and the sweet, that you don't really appreciate like the really good moments unless you have some really horrible or tragic events happen into your life too, and that most of us seem to focus more on the negativity than we do on the positivity, that we focus more on the negative events in our life than we do the positive events in our life. And I really believe that life is like this giant peach, just flowing with juice. And maybe there's a moldy area on the peach, but you don't bite the moldy area. You see it there, you respect it, but you take the juice of the fruit and you just let it just fall, you just live life to the fullest. You just eat that fruit. And this afternoon I had this moment, and Alex was at the laundromat, and because he goes there and does like all of his laundry at one moment, and I was like, I filmed my videos, I was watching on the front porch, and I put the Birds, the Alfred Hitchcock movie, on inside, and Pee-Pee was like laying on the couch, and he was like watching it, and the dogs, Boo and Tucker, were running around, and it was like a beautiful early fall day today in Indiana. It was like 91 degrees, and there were like leaves on the ground already, so you can kind of see that autumn is coming, and shout out to autumn, and and it was beautiful outside, and I ran to my car to get something, and I walked barefoot through the grass, and I just stopped for a second, and I looked up at the sky, and I was like, man, like, this is amazing, like, and I had this moment of absolutely insurmountable peace and happiness, where I was like, my bills are paid today. I had a really good meal today. Alex and I laughed and smiled and held hands and kissed and had a really great day, and I'm going to go to a meeting tonight, and, I was productive, and I got to do my passion of what I love by making videos, and it's just been a really great day, and I just had this moment. And it's interesting to me, like, I have those moments, but then how fleeting they are sometimes, And then I was in my YouNow stream tonight, and but somehow we started talking about music. Oh, Dustin Daly was sending me like music, and I played this Trisha Paytas song, and then I played like that LFO song, Abercrombie Girls. But like I started playing some music that like is just like music of my heart, like that I love. And I love Whitney Houston's version of I Will Always Love You, but I love Dolly Parton's version even more. And it's just such a classical song. And my favorite part is when Dolly talks at the end of it. And, it was interesting because, like, I was playing it, but I was singing along to it just on my live stream. It was like live karaoke. And I started tearing up and crying. And, but really out of joy, not out of sadness, At that part where she says, I hope life treats you kind, and I hope that you have all that you ever wanted. And then, about happiness. And And then she said something there I don't remember the lyrics exactly, but she says, if I should stay, you wouldn't basically get what you wanted. And I remember, like, the night that my mother passed away, and we had planned it out. We knew we were taking her off life support that night, and it was myself and my best friend Liz. And if you don't know this story, I'm going to tell the story. But my aunt and my uncle and my friend Craig, because he was a doctor, and I wanted to know that my mother was okay. So I wanted a doctor in the room, so he was there. And another friend of ours, Mary Ann, that asked to be there because she was a good friend of my mom's. And my aunt had brought show tunes and Gregorian chants, because those were two of my mom's. She loved, like, Gregorian chants of monks. It was just like, that was her spiritual piece. And she loved show tunes, like they used to sing Singing in the Rain together, and with dun 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 dun, with like umbrellas, and they would play out in the rain when they were kids. And my mom always wanted to be an actress, and she always wanted to be a costume designer. And so I'm not gonna I've told the story before, so I won't tell the whole story, but I said to Liz that night, because Liz is sober as well, and I said, will you say the Serenity Prayer over my mom? And she said out loud, and I said yes. And then I stopped her and I said, will you say the third step prayer? And the third step prayer is about surrendering and removing myself from bondage. And Liz started reading it and holding my mom's hands, and tears were like coming out of Liz's face onto my mom's hand, and my mom flatlined. And later that night, I just told a story not too long ago, later that night when I went to her house, I like pulled out her Bible and her big book and things like that out from underneath her bed, and it was the only part of the big book that was highlighted. And I always thought that was interesting. But anyway, that night when I went to the parking garage, I don't know why I would have been driving alone. I must have stayed later and had to like fill out paperwork or something. But everybody left, and I was by myself. I think Liz said, do you want me to come with you? And I said, no, I want to be alone. And I remember I got in the car, and I was just shuffling through my songs, and that Dolly Parton song came on. And I played it at my mom's funeral, too. Because I just really felt like, spiritually, it was like a message, like... And so tonight, when I was like in my live stream, I started crying, like, singing it, because every time I sing it, it makes me cry, or every time I hear it, but it's not out of really like sadness that I cry. It's out of like, not joy that my mother is gone, but out of honor, like almost like when you cry at like a patriotic event, out of an honor that I had her in my life, the respect. And I just feel so blessed, that like, and like I said in the video the other day, my mother had her downfalls, but like, we had some really great times together, some really hilarious times, And I was thinking about music and us like taking road trips. My mom and I and my ex took a lot of road trips. And I remember the last holiday, my mom and I are driving into the mountains in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, and she's playing that song on the radio, that Rod Stewart, do you think I'm sexy? And my mom like was singing it, right? But then like halfway through the song, she stopped and she goes, but like, do you think I'm sexy? And I was like, what? And she's like, I mean, do you think I'm sexy for my age? We had this whole conversation about it, And my mother loved music. And I remember when the last Christmas Eve, when we drove up to the Cherokee National Forest and we got stuck in the ice, we listened to, John Denver and the Muppets was the Christmas album that we listened to that night. But on the way up, we listened to If I Had $1 Million by the Bare Naked Ladies. And I love that song. My mom and I love that song. We were jamming out to it. And, music, I don't know, it just, 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 it's like, there was that movie that I think with Meryl Streep called Music of the Heart, but like seriously, like that music of the heart, you know, just makes us speak a different language, I think. And I got in my car tonight and I was thinking about that, and I don't know what made me, tonight is such a night, like the trip that we took to Beaver Island before I started my sophomore year in high school, when I was so full of fear of what high school would be like. And I remember we were taking the ferry over from Charlevoix to Beaver Island, and Beaver Island was where my mom's best friend of life, Diane, lived, and Diane passed away 3 years before my mom did. And I was obsessed with Bob Dylan and Joni Mitchell and Joan Baez and Woody Guthrie and Arlo Guthrie and Pete Seeger and Bob Seeger and, you know, Joan Armatradge, and I mean, I was obsessed with these folk singers back then. That's who I was. I mean, I was such a hippie, you know, at 15 years old. And I remember listening to Mr. Tambourine Man, from the concert at Bangladesh, which my mother had the full albums. I now have the albums for the concert of Bangladesh. You guys, with Ravi Shankar, I mean, if you've ever heard that, I mean, it's fantastic. Just put it on, you're there, you know. It's like, I mean, Neil Young, I mean, it's incredible, you know. And I had forgotten about that tonight, and I was thinking about it. And so I went and I downloaded that Dolly Parton song, because I didn't have it on my phone. And I downloaded like 3 different versions of Bob Dylan, but I got that concert of Bangladesh, and I was like jamming in my car, you know, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me. I'm not sleepy and there ain't no place I'm going to. Hey, Mr. Tambourine Man, play a song for me in the midnight. And you know, I loved all of his music, and I was raised on his music, and I don't know, I just think that, you know, like, and I felt so alive, like jamming down the street with the windows open, and I had the sunroof open, and I was just jamming, and you know, it just was like awesome, and I was like in the moment, and I thought, I feel so inspired tonight. I feel so inspired to live, you know. And there are people out there tonight that don't have that. They're not. My mom always said, dance in the kitchen because you can sleep later, you know. And she danced in her kitchen every day, and she loved to like she loved to walk and listen to her Walkman, and she listened to like Bob Dylan, and she loved Bob Marley, and you know, she loved like I was just playing this tonight in my live stream, you know. She's a rich girl, don't try to hide it, diamonds on the soles of her shoes. Well, he's a poor boy, empty as a pocket with nothing to lose. Shing-ta-na-na. Diamonds on the soles of her shoes by Paul Simon. And, you know, like, she would walk, and she loved Garbage by, you know, what's her name? Sherilyn Manson, is that who it is? I can't think of her name, not Sherilyn Manson. Sharon Manson from Garbage, and she loved Janet Jackson. My mother loved Janet Jackson. I'll never forget. I used to make my mom tapes, okay, to walk with, and I made her this tape, and I put Janet Jackson's If on there, because I love that song by Janet Jackson, If. And I also love, my 2 Janet Jackson favorite songs are If and Like a Moth to a Flame, Burns Like Desire. I love that song so much. Can't see my desire. That's the way love goes. I used to have this mix. I also love 24 Play, if you can find the mix for me that I used to have, which you don't even know what it is, but I used to have this like 8-minute mix of 24 Play that my ex found. Oh god, I loved that song so much. But you know, like, songs and musics for me really like talk about an era of my life, and I can play like the Smiths and the Cure. I was just listening to Smiths earlier today, you know. Good times for a change, seem the times I've had can make a good man turn bad. I love that song. I just fucked up the lyrics, but oh well. I love the Smiths. I love the Cure. I love New Order. I love all those bands I listened to in high school. When I listen to them, they make me feel like I'm 16 again. They make me feel like I'm 18 again, you know? And when I listen to, like, you know, folk music, it makes me really introspective, and it makes me think, you know? And I was talking to that girl. I can't remember her name is now. Oh, shit. that was in my live stream. It's going to come to me in a second. But she was talking about being from Athens, Georgia. Oh, God, I feel so bad now because she was so sweet. And, oh, my God, I feel so horrible. But anyway, and she goes to school there, and I was asking her about, like, REM and 10,000 Maniacs and Natalie Merchant, from 10,000 Maniacs. And I listened to them in high school and all these bands. And I just love finding new bands, and new people to listen to. And it's just great. Music is just awesome. And, and it's like I made this video today and I talked about how, so Alex and I had brunch at Cafe Pas de Choux. I had this omelet that was incredible, a vegetarian, it was actually a vegan omelet. And then I had a bagel with cream cheese. It's so delicious. Best coffee, butternut cream from Pas de Choux. And then I had a gift certificate from my Aunt Kathy to go to Saks. And so I was like, do you want to go to Saks? And he was like, yeah, let's go to Saks. And I hadn't been in there forever. And I'm not going to lie, back in the day, I used to drop quite some coin on nice things. When I had the money, I liked to spend money on things I liked. And I'm a big gift giver. So I would always buy Alex gifts and my ex gifts and things like that. And, so we were in there, and I started looking at all this kind of stuff, and I was like, God, I wish I had more money. It would be so nice to be able to have, like, a Louis Vuitton backpack, or this Gucci messenger bag that I found that was, like, $1,300, or I love Aventus, or Creed's Aventus, and I sprayed it on, and took a shower, soap and water everywhere. I can still smell it on me. It's $350 a bottle or something, and I was like, God, I wish I just had this kind of money that I don't have to worry about it. But, then flash forward, and I'm sitting in, sitting on the front porch, walking through the yard, feeling the cool grass on my feet, drinking a great cup of coffee, and I'm like, this is it right here, Because I know so many people that have those things. They have the bags and the cologne and the sunglasses, and I like all of that. I like nice things too, and you'll see me up in here with some nice things every once in a while, but that doesn't define who I am. And I feel like I know a lot of people that those things define who they are, and I don't think there's anything wrong with liking luxury or nice items. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. If somebody works or, works really hard to earn something and they want to do that, they should. Now, I struggle with like the whole idea of spending $20,000 and $30,000 on a purse, but that's somebody's business, not mine. It's not my business to tell somebody how to spend their money. I don't know that I could do it, but I mean, maybe if I was making $10 million a year, I could, but I would feel like I had to give a lot of money away to charity before I felt okay to be having that. But like, it really doesn't matter. Those things don't mean anything. They just don't. You can't take them with you. And it's like, other than the cologne, which I think I can take with me everywhere, bury me in that shit so I can smell good. But like, I mean, it doesn't any of it mean anything. It's the simple things in life. It's the jamming down to the interstate, to, hey, Mr. Tambourine Man. Oh my God, I just felt so good in that moment. I was on the ferry to Beaver Island again, and, I feel so good from having been dieting and eating vegetarian and drinking water. I feel just so good. And, I just feel so connected to life right now that I'm focusing. I need to focus always just on the positive things, because that, I think, is the trick to life. We're going to have negative. We're going to have positive. Which way do we choose to go, And today I choose to go towards the positive. And it's been a really, really good day. I've had a great day. I love Sundays. I know how people hate Sundays because they have to go back to work and kids have to go back to school on Mondays, but I love Sundays, and I have a long-ass day ahead of me tomorrow, and that's okay. I've had a great day today, It's been an amazing day. So, and you can start your day over whenever you want, Like, if you're watching this and you're having a down day, get in your car, walk outside, put on some music that just inspires the shit out of you and say, I'm turning my day around right now. This might be the last day I ever have to dance to my favorite song or listen to my favorite song or drink a great cup of coffee or walk in the grass without my shoes. You may never be able to walk again. Who knows? Something horrible may happen. But let's hope not. Let's hope not. But let's appreciate it, and let's live in the moment, and let's have gratitude for those simple things that keep us grounded. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you later.